Columbia for his period of tenure as the pastor there. And he would always ask me about my father, and then he would ask me about my mother with that big grin. And then he would remind me, he would say, Calvin, you come from good stock. And then I would ask him, I would say, well, Elder, how are you doing? And he'd step back on his tiptoes, and he said, I'm doing 100. 99 and a half won't do. When I became a minister, he was my idol. Yes, he was. I told you I fell in love with his style. As my daughter would say, with his swagger. Listen to him. I could hear him say, I want you to get this. This thing is good. And he no longer became Elder Fred Parker. Now, as a minister, he's the burner. If you're not a preacher, let me break that down. He can preach. He could turn the church inside out and upside down. He was the burner. I remembered. I'm not going to be long. I remembered sitting at Oakwood, dignified Oakwood. They had what they called conference days, and South Atlantic asked Elder Parker to preach. And Elder Parker stood behind the desk at Oakwood, and he began to preach, and he said, away with Shakespeare. He said, away with Bach. Away with James Cleveland. Give me Jesus. I remember the red heifer. But what moved me, hold on now, I gotta stop. But what removed me was when I would hear him preach, there is honey in the rock for me. Let me cut it. Then I love the way he would end his sermon. When I come to the end of my journey, everything is gonna be all right. Elder Parker, burner, pastor, friend of mine, department leader, evangelist, youth leader, Pathfinder director. Take your rest, because in the morning, everything is going to be all right.